Hello, Facebook Live, and welcome to my today live stream. For those who don't know me, my name is Carmen Peutz, and I'm an educator and a counselor where I help young people to discover life potential and life possibilities to how to live actually a better and healthier adult life. And today, I want to address a certain topic about technology in everyday life because I think that we are surrounded with the technology that actually it can make our life easier, but also not really worse. I won't say that, but it can make us a few distractions that we didn't have that before. But before I dive into certain, points that maybe it will help you to easier navigate with the technology, I will share my today experience that I actually had with technology here on Facebook, that I was like really touched and moved by my friend's Harriet comment. I met Harriet at last year making my first project, the Modern Adulthood Project, where also Harriet was involved in, one of the she was one of the people having this business coaching, and Harriet is from Australia, and we still are connected. And Harriet actually posted today about something that described, an animal cruelty, where on the horse tracks, one of the horses was killed because the horse got injured. The horse was just 5 years old, and it got injured and killed. And I was so, it gives me the chills that even thinking about it. And also, Harriet made a question: what do you stand for? And my answer is always the freedom, because lots of times we don't think about it, and we take it for granted. And I stated freedom, but not only freedom, I also stated that we all deserve a good living, good quality living. We all deserve money. We all deserve love, and we all deserve to work. None of us deserve to ever be socially excluded, ever live in poverty, or ever live in hunger. And Harriet was so moved that she actually wrote me back that she almost cried, and that's why she is, still connected with me, because she knows and she feels that I am, authentic. And why I'm telling you this is because this social media that we have, let's use it for the good message, for knowledge, for education, and to actually be authentic. Even if you use your social media for personal reasons or social reasons, just be who you are. And I was so moved when I read this message that I was I was almost crying. So I wanted to start with this message that social media or technology is enabling us to be connected from people all around the world. And this is something that I find, amazing, because, 10, 15, or even 20 years ago, we didn't have that. We learned from the books. We learned from our professors, our parents, and that was actually it. And now we can learn from other people, like everyday people and from their experience. And when I use social media, sometimes when I go outside and I take long walks, I listen to podcasts, I listen to interviews that I normally don't have the time, and I do use my time for that. And just yesterday, I listened to the documentary about Freddie Mercury. If you go on YouTube and type Freddie Mercury documentary, it's an hour and 20 minutes long about his life. And I was moved, and, the social media, the YouTube channel, you know, it's amazing. So, this is something that I find really, really amazing, to get the information more quickly that I did used to. And this is something that I wanted to share. But when it comes to using your smartphones, your computers, it can also interfere in your social life with your loved ones, with your parents, with your companions, with your children. So you have to be smart about it, that smartphones don't control your life, but you control them. So this is something also that I will share, it how you can be of control of your smartphones. My advice is, when you go out with your spouse, with your children, with your friends, and you take a long walk, you go outdoors, leave your smartphones at home. I know it's hard, but do it. Because when you have your smartphone with you, you check your smartphone. You cannot help yourself. You don't have it under control, because I can, I know. And if you leave it at home, you know that you are there, present, fully present in that moment, that maybe you will never get that moment back, ever. You're present by watching, you're present observing, you're present in the communication with your loved one, with your friends, being outdoors, being on playgrounds. Just leave your smartphone at home. And when I listened to one of the business coaches saying that how she couldn't have under control the hey Karin, zdravo, zdravo, technology in everyday life, welcome. And she was like explaining how she cannot have the smartphone under control when she went out to take a walk with her child, with her husband. And one of the other business coaches that she hired, they actually made a pact that she leaves the smartphone at home in a box. And even when there is a weekend there, not just afternoons, but also during the weekend, she puts her smartphone in a box, because she admitted that she cannot have the smartphone when she's there with the smartphone under control. So the smartphone is in a box. And also, my advice also is, when you are at home in the afternoon, watching TV, playing with your children, talking to your spouse, talking to your friend, or even especially having dinner, lunch, any gathering that it's, eating time, when you can connect with your loved ones, put your smartphone maybe in the other room, not near you, but in the other room. So it's not there, you know, in front of you or anywhere near you. This is my also something that I advise you to do. One of my also another advices is also the when before you go to sleep, don't use your device, computer or smartphone at least an hour or two before you go to sleep. When I was listening to one of the coaches, Craig Ballantyne, talking about this, put your smartphone away at least an hour or two before you go to bed, because it can not just harm your brain, but your brain cannot rest before you go to sleep. And what I actually learned from it is that it's actually true. And whenever I work on my computer, like just about to go to sleep, maybe just go to brush my teeth, and in about 15 minutes going to sleep, before leaving my computer there, closed. When I wake up in the morning, my brain is actually feel dizzy, and I actually feel tired whenever I do that. So I actually noticed that this is actually true. And, just listen maybe to this advice, try it, and you will see the difference between, being on your smartphone or on your computer right before you go to sleep. Try to put everything down and away and don't touch it at least for an hour or two before you go to sleep. It's a totally different feeling. I have an experience with it, and I can totally say that this is true. When it comes to your smartphones and your children, just the other day I was talking with my cousin, and he bought the smartphones for her 11-year-old daughter, and he actually put the parent control on the device. And if you don't know how to do it, try to, ask an expert or your phone operator. They can help you with it. And also put the parent control on your computers. And my next thing is, before your children go to sleep, please take them the phone. Don't leave the phone with them, go into the room and go to sleep, because they need sleep and they need rest. And you own the device, you own their phone, they don't owe them. And also, when it's time that you buy the computer and you have it at home, don't put the computer in the children's room. Put the computer in the living room, when there is, when you have the control over it. I remember that my sister, she had a computer, just one computer at home at that time, and it was in the living room. Lots of times, Dan and Tony were fighting who would use it, but they survived with just one computer, and that's it. And also, when children are, around 10 or 11, they don't need a smartphone right away, just a regular phone when they can call you or you can call them. They don't need, the smartphones yet. And also, what I advise you to do is, even if you put the parent control on your children devices, they can go to the friend's house, or some friends at school have the device. They don't have the parent control. They will see things, they will see information, they will see pictures that you will have no control of. And when I was writing my article about, sexual education, I researched that the most common word typed in Google is sex. So basically, your children need a sexual education more and earlier than we did it before, at least around the age of 10 and 11. And this is something that I also did an interview with the Melinda Tanker-Reist. She's an expert on the pornography and sexualization. I have the interview on my YouTube channel, so you can look it up. And, we need to educate our children that, that they will see some explicit images, that will see pornography. They will see how, men are treating women, and this is something that it's not normal. That when a woman says no, she means no. She doesn't want a violent, sex. That this is something that, a child brain is not fully developed, and the child brain cannot distinct the difference, between a pornography, a movie, and what is actually real. So we need to explain to them. When they will see something like that, they will actually know what is going on, and they probably will be, going to you for a talk, for advice, and you can talk to them. I know that I talked with my mother. She bought me books about sexual education, and I talked to her and I confided her. And, make your children a safe place, a safe home, that they will know that they can, go to you and confide. Um, this is something that we cannot prevent. We just need a proper education for our children. And also, what I wanted to also talk about is using the technology, and when it comes to work, when it comes to our career. This is something that we need to actually know, that your employee, or a former employee, or a future employee will see everything that you post, maybe for a years back. So you need to be really mindful when you post something in the social media. You might think that this is something just for your friends' eyes and nobody will see, but maybe one of the co-workers will see. So you also need to be mindful what you say on social media, how you comment your employees or your company, because people are losing jobs because of that. This is actually happening. And also, a few days ago I talked with my cousin, and he actually told me that one of the co-workers that they hired, he called him and said, hey, you have some pictures on social media. I think it's better that you delete them, before somebody will see them. So this is something that I really advise you to do, and really be, cautious that everything is out there. And I also can share my experience with when I applied for one of the jobs like a year ago. They called me for an interview, and this woman, the interview, asked me, oh, I saw your interviews online. Can you please explain how you did it? It is very interesting, So they do Google you. So we need to know that. And it's just the thing that it is here that we need to accept, and we need to be mindful what we are doing on social media. Use it for the good, use it for the good of information, and just know what you are doing and what you are sharing with the public eye and with your friends. So I hope this